What's up, y'all? This is Essence China of Rare Essence Academy, and today I kind of want to talk story, but the story is to help you to see how to get unstuck as a stylist. And I don't know if that's where you're at right now, but I know in different seasons of our career, we do find ourselves feeling like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? It's not going in the direction that I wanted to go, or I didn't feel like I was going to be in this season for so long. And it's just like you feel stuck, and because of that stuck, there's a level of frustration, right? And so frustration typically comes when you outgrow the situation that you're in, but you don't know how to step to the next level. And I find that with I always use this example of like babies. When babies take their first steps, like a lot of it has to do with the fact that like they want a whole nother level of independence, and they want to get to, they're tired of like crawling around, right? They want to get to a place where they can have a different elevation, so they stand and then they start to take those steps. But in those steps, we find ourselves like falling. And so many times when we're stuck as a stylist, it's because we know where we want to go, but it's going to require us to stand up in our situation and take steps we've never taken before. And we have a fear of failure. And so a lot of times we keep ourselves in these stuck places that we have outgrown this cocoon. And so we need to get up and we need to move forward. And so we have to forget about what's going to happen if we fall. Falling comes with the process. It literally is a part of the process. Babies, when they get up and they start taking steps, they don't think nothing about falling. They see that as progress, right? But for whatever reason, as we become adults, we don't see falling as a part of the process. We don't see that as perfecting the steps, right? We see that as, oh my gosh, who's seen me fall? Oh my gosh, I'm a failure. Like, get that out of your head, because in order for you to get unstuck, you're gonna have to start taking steps, and falling is gonna come with the territory. So let me just get into this story real quick. So some of y'all may know I changed the law in the state of Arizona in order to do hair, natural hair. And so when I moved back to Arizona, you had to have a license. And so I got the law changed. And once I got the law changed, I was braiding out of my apartment, right? And I had crazy clientele. I was going to school as a nurse, and I was building my clientele out of my apartment. And I got to this place where some of my clients did know about me changing the law and others didn't, because I didn't speak about it. But I did have a lot of my clients like asking me like, when you gonna open your salon? And to be honest with y'all, like that question irritated me. And it irritated me because it was calling me to stand up. And it was just like, okay, you've been in this place of braiding hair out of your apartment, and that's great. Like I literally had the whole setup. I had a salon chair. I had, my TV. I had my hair, my pictures all up on the wall, and it literally was a dedicated space to give my clients like a professional experience. But at the same time, my clients saw another level on me that I was scared to go to. And so when they would come into my apartment and they would come into this room, I think it was just maybe Holy Spirit like speaking to them like, when you gonna open your salon? And I used to be like, don't ask me that, because I didn't know how I was gonna get to that next level, and I didn't know if I was gonna fail at that next level. So I was forcing myself to stay into this tight space, right? I'm still crawling as a baby when I should be walking. And so when they began to ask me that, it came so often at some point that I was just like, okay, God, like, what are you saying? Right? I remember having a conversation with my father, and I just told him like, what I wanted. And he was just like, just go look for a salon. To me, that was so practical. Like it literally had demolished like all of these thoughts I had in my mind about getting to the next level and how do I get unstuck, because I knew for a fact the whole purpose of me changing the law in Arizona was because I knew that I wanted to not have to be relegated into braiding hair out of my apartment or my house. I wanted to do it on a very business and professional level, and I knew in order for that to happen, I needed to be able to be legalized essentially to work in a salon. And so here it is. I got the law changed in Arizona, and I got other salons opening based off of what I have initiated. And here it is, I'm still going home and I'm braiding out of my apartment. So I felt stuck, y'all. But the main reason why I felt stuck is because I knew that there was more in me. I had so much more potential. And some of y'all know right now, the stage that you're at in your business, there's more. Like that's the reason why you have this frustration, is because there's more, but it's going to require a level of courage and a level of boldness to come up out of you so you can take whatever necessary step. But some of you know that there's more, but you don't have your vision for your future. And so that might be one of my first points. It's like, what do you even see? For me, I did see a salon. I did, but I was fearful of making those steps. And when my father gave me that practical step of just go look, it don't cost you no money to look. Okay. And so I started driving around and I just was like, again, it don't cost you no money to look and you can't fail in looking. So I just was like, look at buildings, get phone numbers, call the numbers, and then just ask them like, how much is rent? Like that, it can't hurt nothing. And so you have to have vision for what your next level is in order for you to get unstuck. What does unstuck look like to you? Right? And so that would be my first point. Get vision for what unstuck looks like to you. The second thing is that you have to know who you are. What do I mean? Essence, what do you mean by that, right? I talk about how we're rare, right? And when we're rare, we're very unique. And when we're unique, we walk in a level of authenticity with our assignment. Like we get in alignment with our assignment. But if you don't know who you are, you're gonna come off very inauthentic because you have not yet located who you are. Now you're saying to yourself, okay, Essence, what does that have to do with being stuck? Well, sometimes you're stuck because you are trying to mirror everybody else. And you may be doing that unconsciously, right? This is why it's important to know who you are and to be who you are through and through. Because when you are unaware of who you are, and I don't want to lose y'all on this, so stay with me. When you're unaware of who you are, you will find yourself doing what other people are doing without even realizing it. And then you start finding like, I don't even know why I'm going in circles. Well, you're going in circles because you don't realize that what makes you valuable is your rareness. What makes you great is your rareness. And when you tap into your rareness, meaning like for me, some of y'all have been following Rare Essence Academy for years. There's a few things that you're gonna know about me. You're gonna know that I walk by faith. You're gonna know some of my story. You're gonna know maybe even the type of music I like because of how I present myself. But when everybody's trying to do what's trending, y'all about to, when you're trying to fit a mold, the thing is you have to be counterculture. Right? That's how you become more valuable when you are different, right? But so many of us are so scared to be different that we never break out of that mold, and so therefore we feel stuck. You have to figure out what makes you rare, because when you tap into your rareness, you tap into your greatness. When you tap into your greatness, there are no limits. But when you don't know what makes you rare, you don't know who you are, you feel this level of just like, you feel restricted. The goal is not for you to be restricted. The goal is for you to be free. But when you don't know and you're not like bold about it, you're gonna feel like, okay, I gotta walk this line. And I always tell people, no. What makes people who have literally like left marks on history great is they have decided to become themselves. Who are you? Right? And I know this is like, okay, Essence, I still don't understand how this is helping me get unstuck as a stylist, but this is key. You have to identify what makes me rare, because there's going to be a stylist next door. There's going to be a stylist in the next chair. There's going to be a salon right up the block. What's going to make somebody come to you as opposed to the next stylist or the next salon? It's because of who you are. But if if you don't know who you are and you haven't presented who you are, how can they find you? Because if you start looking like a copycat or somebody that's mirroring or projecting somebody else, you don't have, there's no value in that. A diamond is a diamond. A diamond has the level of value that it has because it's rare. I can go outside and find 1 million rocks. Rocks ain't got no value, right? They're just generic. They are basic. They are regular. But when you're rare, there's value. And when there's value, like you understand that there's greatness and there's just no limitations, and therefore you won't feel stuck. So that's point number 2. You have to know who you are. All right, so number 3 is kind of like a piggyback on number 2. And it's because you have to get out of your box, right? You have to start being more innovative. You have to start being more creative. And when you're concerned about how your work may be judged or how you're showing up in the industry, it's not going to allow you the room and the creativity to do what you want to do. When I created my signature hairstyle, I'm just give you an example because I want to be clear. When I created my signature hairstyle, it was different. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, like there may be some things that were similar in this industry, but I put my own creative twist on it. And so I felt comfortable enough and got creative enough to try something different just to see what it would do. And so you have to start taking the limits off yourself, even in your creativity. Because if you find yourself like coming to the salon and you're doing the same hairstyle after the same hairstyle after the same hairstyle, you're gonna feel stuck, right? And so when you start to take those limits off and get very comfortable with getting creative, I think that that's gonna help you get unstuck as a stylist. But if you're still in that same routine of I do box braids all day, every day, it's gonna get boring. So you have to decide what your niche is gonna be. And if it is box braids, that's amazing. If it is locks, that's amazing. But within that, find creativity. Do things that are gonna kind of disrupt the pattern to where it makes it exciting again. That's how you get unstuck. So point number 4 on how to get unstuck as a stylist is to start getting around other people in the industry that are moving forward. Like, I think that I have a friend in the industry, her name is Stasha, Magic Finger, shout out to her. And I'm grateful for having her as a friend in the industry because like anytime I may feel like I'm stuck in a place, like, you know, we have these conversations and it helps me to get motivated again. And sometimes you just need to get in an environment where you can be re-energized, where you can be motivated again so you can not feel stuck, because everybody has those seasons in their life. Like, I have those seasons, and I think sometimes you may look at somebody on maybe social media and it just always looks like they on, or always looks like they win, or always looks like, and you can allow that to reflect onto you and, you know, take that as, okay, I just feel like I'm stuck, I'm not moving forward, things are not working for me. And that's not the case. You know, that's not the case. Don't allow those lies to even enter your mind. Everybody has those seasons. Everybody has those seasons. So I want you to understand that you need to start positioning yourself in places where you can be motivated, right? Go to these hair shows, even watch these videos. These videos, you know what I'm saying? These videos kind of go into the next point, which is you need to find somebody that you can learn from, whether it's a mentor or hiring a coach. You need to be in a place where you can be consistently poured into, right? Get poured into, because sometimes what makes you feel stuck is the fact that you're operating off the same information. You're operating off of the same paradigm, the same perspective of how you're seeing things. And because your perspective has not been challenged or even questioned, you feel stuck because you can't see your way out. But what if somebody brings you a different piece of information that causes you to look at it differently to change your whole situation? Right? And so that's why I recommend that you find somebody that you can be motivated by, whether you got a virtual mentor or coach, or if you actually tap into somebody who that's what they offer. Now, I have over the years definitely coached hairstylists in getting to their next level, because the good thing about that is that me coming from the perspective of being a hairstylist for 20 plus years, owning a salon for 15 plus years, you know, going from being a hairstylist to a salon owner to an educator to a coach, there are certain things that I'm gonna be able to see about your situation just by you telling me your story, to where I'm like, okay, you just need to do this, or you just need to do that. And not only just tell you what you need to do, but give you the motivation and the encouragement to take the steps. Now, going back to the very beginning of the story, I was talking to you about literally stepping outside of the box and understanding that when we get stuck, it's because we know that there's a new level, and that new level requires a new strength to be developed, right? And before that strength is developed, there's a weakness, and in that weakness, we may fall. We don't know everything about this new level, but when you have a coach who's been there, come on now, and their muscle has already been exercised, okay? And they already have a strength in an area, they can help you. It's almost like you go to the gym and you got somebody that's spotting you. Come on now. Like, that's what a coach or a trainer is for you. So anyway, or trainer, a coach or a mentor is for you. But these are the steps, these are the keys, these are the essentials that I would recommend that you start thinking about if you feel stuck. If you feel stuck, there's always a way out. You just got to figure out what about you being in this position is keeping you in this position. Is your perspective? Is it your lack of vision? Is it because you don't have people to fortify you, to help you get to that next level? When you think about somebody who jumps a fence, a lot of times if you're with somebody, what they do is they reach their hand down to help you come up, or they push you up. You need to be surrounding yourself around that type of environment so you can get to the next level, because there's people that want to help you get there too, right? Like, not everybody around you does not believe in you. Not everybody around you wants to keep you in that place. There are people that are rooting for you, but you have to be humble enough to receive the help. Okay, so those are my 4 points, or 5 or 6. I don't know how many I dropped today, but those are the points to literally getting unstuck as a stylist. I want y'all to remember that your business can only grow to the extent that you do as a person. So as you grow, your business naturally grows. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Ask me questions. If you have a topic you want me to cover, make sure you ask it in the comments. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Take care.